Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Chilly, rainy on the outside, perfect inside. Let's check in for the first time today. Hello, Jennifer Hale.
Hello, Tom. You can expect this Vikings aerial attack to be more limited today without Stephon Diggs. That rib injury, those bruised ribs that kept him sidelined all week, just not good enough to go today. Neither is Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr, but they do have cornerback Xavier Rhodes. He retweaked his ankle in practice Friday, but he's good to go today. And you mentioned Dalvin Cook earlier. He's good for about 15 to 20 snaps. As for the Lions, they finally get Ziggy Ansah back since week 1. And Matt Stafford going to be wearing a glove on his non-throwing hand because of a pinky injury. But Tom, he tells me it's not going to impede his throwing motion at all.
All right, Jen, thank you. And how about the atmosphere here in downtown Minneapolis? That's Antoine Winfield. What a player he was.
Yeah, I ranked Ohio State players on a little poll I did for defense, and I ranked him as the greatest defender in the history of the Ohio State Buckeyes and a great Minnesota Viking for a long time.
Chose to defer getting the football in the second half, so right from the get-go, we'll get a look at Kirk Cousins and company. Sam Martin spins it away, falling down as he made contact with the ball. So very good field position as Brandon Silstra fields it and brings it up to the 35-yard line. So here comes a 30-year-old Michigan native, grew up in Holland, Michigan. Holland Christian High School, his first year, of course, with Minnesota. Kirk Cousins signing that monster contract during the offseason, leaving the Washington Redskins. He's thrown for over 2,500 yards so far this year, second most to Patrick Mahomes in the NFL. That's Latavius Murray. And a gain of 5 on first down. And Chris, we figured to see plenty of running the football against a team that's been gashed on defense when opponents run it.
Yeah, well, you look at this offensive line, and Pat Elflein has been the key to the resurgence of the running game. Will have his hands full against Big 98 Damon Harrison. Dalvin Cook, not only a threat running the ball, obviously, but excellent out of the backfield with his hands.
John DeFilippo, the offensive coordinator, they fake it to Murray, and they're rolling the other way, and it is caught by Laquan Treadwell. #1 pick in his 3rd year out of Mississippi, and that is a first down into Detroit territory. Lions on defense, 19th overall. They've been hurt, as we mentioned, against a run.
Well, that's why they made the trade for a 5th rounder to the Giants for Damon Harrison, who should help Jared Davis, your middle linebacker. Keep your eye on Darius Slay, number 23. He's an outstanding corner. He's just looked a little slow to me the past few weeks. I don't know if he's nicked by injuries, but if I were the Vikings, I would test Darius early.
Well, into the game for the first time and getting the football is Dalvin Cook. Chris, we were here a year ago, week 4, when he tore the ACL. He had set a Minnesota franchise record, rushing for 288 yards the first 3 games of the year. This year, the problem has been an injured hamstring going all the way back to the middle of September.
Yeah, I just think him getting that first carry, and you see Murray and Cook are in the ball game together, that's a different look. And you look for, in this type of situation, both guys are very capable out of the backfield as receivers. They're looking for a matchup on a linebacker.
And that's Cook in motion.
There it is.
And they drop it off to him. And he's inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and a little more than 3.
So what they're trying to do is they understand that Jared Davis makes a lot of plays. That the one area he struggles is man-to-man. So what you do is put him out in the slot. If Jared Davis goes out, that gives Kirk Cousins a pre-snap read, whether it's man or zone. If Davis is out there, Kirk Cousins knows he has man-to-man coverage across the board. Good pre-snap look for that man right there in those eyes.
Four-man rush, 3rd down and 4. And that's the first career reception for Chad Beebe. Yes, the son of former NFL player Don Beebe, but that route did not even get to the sticks. So it looks as though Mike Zimmer's made the decision. He's going 4th down on this opening drive.
I think that's the right call to do. Play aggressive. He wants to be aggressive as a play caller. He wants to trust his offensive line, and Slade did an excellent job. Looked healthy there on closing on Chad Beebe.
It's very interesting. Here you are in a 4th down and 2, and you take Treadwell out, who's been playing for you the entire year, and you put Beebe in. Active for the first time all year.
There he is.
And who do they throw it to? Beebe inside the 25. How about that?
Now, you see it coming, right? Because 31, Tease Tabor is locked up. Tease has struggled a little bit. He was a target for the Seahawks last week. He runs a nice little stutter go, and Cousins gives him a very catchable ball. And the thing I liked about this, Tom, this is a young guy catching the ball with his hands. That ball didn't get to his body where you get one to bounce off the shoulder pads. Who knows? Chad Beebe getting an opportunity. Diggs down, Beebe up.
His father played in 6 Super Bowls with Buffalo and the Green Bay Packers. And on 1st down, they fake the run. They throw it to the man. They faked it to Latavius Murray's inside the 10. 1st and goal, Minnesota.
Well, this is what happens. Everybody knows it. We talk about, you get the run game going, everything else goes. This is a clear out. You see everybody, Conklin clearing out. Everybody clears out. Get the defenders to drop off, and Latavius Murray, excellent, obviously, with his running back skill after the catch.
Here Cousins 5 out of 5, and the best receiver in the league has not touched it one time.
They have to have people step up. You know, Diggs is down. They're going to take Thielen away with a lot of double teams.
Bobbled snap. They give it to Murray. And he's stiff in the end zone. Flag comes in late as he's tackled at the 2. And Damon Harrison is pointing immediately to the penalty is against the opponent.
Illegal use of hands, hands to the face, number 40 defense. After this to the goal, automatic 1st down.
So it would be Jared Davis.
You know what set that up? I just was ISO-ing there on Pat Elflein because Damon Harrison presents a problem. Usually you have to double team a guy that's 355 pounds that can get penetration. Elflein won his individual matchup battle right there with the big fella.
He almost put him on his backside. Latavius Murray spins away and trying to get in the end zone. The ball is loose. It appears to be covered by Minnesota for a touchdown, and it is.
This is all set up by the penetration of A'Shawn Robinson. Anytime you're on the goal line, this is exactly what you want if you're the Lions. Robinson's going to come in here and shoot this gap. And when you spin move, you make yourself, you're vulnerable to other hits. And right there, he's trying to reach for the end zone. And you see Christian Jones come over and knock the ball, but the Cincinnati Elder grad, Rudolph, saving the day. He might have had the touchdown there with that reach, too.
I was thinking the same thing. But Kyle Rudolph will be given credit, we are told, for the touchdown. Rudolph, what a gamer this guy's been. 58 straight start. Johnny on the spot. Touchdown on the opening drive.
Game is sponsored by Ford. Built Ford proud.
The discussion is not about the touchdown. The discussion is the pass to Latavius Murray that had set up the field position. Grover Quinn got picked off by Kyle Rudolph, which allowed Latavius Murray to go uncovered. And he's saying right now, look, we have things and rules to pass that off. Communication has to be there or it equals big plays and bad for our defense.
Well, here's another young man we're going to be watching out for today. That'll be Brandon Powell, the rookie out of Florida. More on him in a minute. But here comes Matthew Stafford, 30 years young, out of Highland Park, Texas, making his 120th consecutive start. See, his last 3 road games been nearly perfect. Should be noted, Stafford is 2-0 in this stadium.
He had good numbers last week, Tom, against the Seahawks, but didn't play well. And rarely does Matthew Stafford play poor back-to-back games. I expect him to respond.
turned the ball over twice in the final quarter. An interception and a fumble. He's playing with a glove on that left hand. He injured his pinky late in that game. But again, not his throwing hand. And this is the emerging Kerryon Johnson, the reigning Southeastern Conference Offensive Player of the Year out of Auburn. And up front, they're finally healthy up there.
Yeah, all 5 guys, I think, have been excellent up front. And Frank Ragnow's been what you want in the #1 draft pick. Theo Riddick's coming back today. 3rd down. It's difficult to cover. He's actually in here on 2nd down, lined up as a wide receiver. And Jim Bob Cooter, the offensive coordinator, loves to use him in the passing game. That's Theo. I just circled Theo. Find him. I guarantee the Vikings are finding him. There he is.
And that is Theo Riddick. What an outstanding weapon he is indeed. 5th most receptions and receiving yards among all backs the last 5 years.
So his gift is to recognize man and zone. If it's man, he's going to do this. If it's zone, he's going to do that. Sit down. See that? Kendricks runs with him. Stafford did a good job with his eyes. Sat it down in the zone as opposed to running across the field. But if we're circling him, I promise you he's in the ball game for a reason. And it's not the block.
Two plays, 15 yards and a 1st down. Not much running room there. Everson Griffin in his 2nd game back. Played the opener, has gone through some mental health issues, which one day Chris is going to come out and talk a little bit more about. And it's hurry-up mode now. Eric Wilson getting a 2nd straight start for Anthony Barr. Sidearm throw, and boy, that's a dangerous throw. I mean, Kendricks was right there, step for step with a tight end, Michael Roberts. It's 3rd down and 9.
I almost thought Kendricks could have made the play on the ball because he was running the route with Michael Roberts. There's Eric Kendricks, who's a smart guy, excellent against the pass. Look at this. I just think Roberts shielded him from seeing when that ball was thrown because normally he'll break on the ball as well as a tight end.
3rd down and 9. Timeout. This Minnesota defense is the best defense in the National Football League on 3rd down. #1. Holding opponents to right around a 1 in 4 conversion rate. (1993), the last time the Lions won a division championship. Who's that guy? That's Chris Spielman.
I'm just glad it wrapped up. Herman Moore, the great Herman Moore. Barry Sanders.
Green Bay has won 12 titles. Minnesota 7. The Bears with 4. Even Tampa Bay back in 1999 as a member of the NFC Central, winning a division championship. And you know, Chris, for a lot of Lions fans, and we'll get into this later on, but they have to be somewhat befuddled at trading away Golden Tate, who has been a great player since coming to the Lions as a free agent 5 years ago. 3rd down and 9. Incomplete. Stafford laid out as he let it fly, and we check in for the first time today with Carissa Thompson. Hi there.
Hi, Tom. Falcons, Redskins. Falcons looking for their 3rd straight win. Matt Ryan throws the screen to Tevin Coleman, who does the rest. 39 yards. He's got his team up early. Falcons up 7-0. Tom, Chris, and Jim.
All right, Carissa, thank you very much. So after a 1st down, Lions have punted away. Marcus Sherrills, fair catch at the 18-yard line. Took them 9 plays and 5 minutes for Cousins and company to get on the board their first drive. They're back at it when we return.
This game is sponsored by T-Mobile. Whether you're home or away, T-Mobile has you covered.
KS is one tightly bunched NFC North. Every team in the division more than feeling like it has a chance to win this thing. Lions only 1 game out of first. The Bears are playing. They're just underway in Buffalo. First down, they give it to Dalvin Cook. Powerful running up to the 25-yard line. I know that Damon Harrison really caught your eye his first game last week. 7 tackles, couple of them behind the line of scrimmage, and a sack.
Yeah, just that number alone with 3.3. The guy that's going to benefit from the addition of Damon Harrison is Jared Davis. The bigger the pants in front of you, middle linebacker, the happy you are, because the big pants occupy a lot of bodies. Right there is a big reason why. That's why he's here. I just want to show you the strength of Damon Harrison. He's right here over the nose guard, and watch him use his hands first of all. Then the big fella gets down inside, and 355 pounds to be able to lay out. He can cover a lot of space. He can cover from outside shoulder to the guard to the outside shoulder of the other guard. He's such an impact player, even when he doesn't make the tackle.
One. Hey, Sunday.
Third down and 3. And a poor throw there. Should have been a first down if that throw is on the money. But high and wide of Thielen, who's without a catch so far here in the opening quarter, and it's 3 and out.
Yeah, so Rudolph's coming off the field shaking his head because I think Kirk Cousins missed Rudolph. They jumped Thielen. They doubled Thielen. Rudolph was wide open with nobody around him, and I bet you that's the discussion that will go on right now. Didn't you see me? I'm 6'6". I'm hard to miss.
Yeah, he's hard to miss. And by the way, they gave Latavius Murray the touchdown on that only score of the game. Apparently, when he reached out, they went back and looked at it again, that it broke the plane. So he is given credit, not Rudolph, for the touchdown. Fair catch. Lions will get it at the 35, leading 7-0.
Game is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Burger King. Get 10 crispy chicken nuggets for just $1 only at Burger King.
U.S. Bank Stadium, what a spectacular venue this is in the heart of downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota, one of our favorite spots. First game for Matthew Stafford in the last 5 years where he did not have Golden Tate on his team. And they put the ball in the hands of Kenny Golladay, who's one of the players that really needs to step up in the absence of Tate, who is simply a great player during his tenure in the Motor City. Came over, of course, as a free agent. 4 straight years, was on pace for a 5th year of 90 or more receptions. Over 2,700 yards after the catch, most in the NFL. And then dealt for a 3rd-round pick in next year's draft to the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. And well, I got to tell you, Chris, when we heard about that trade, I was stunned. And, you know, you can hear about doing things a different way and, you know, salary cap and saving money for this year and saving money for last year. If I'm a Lion fan, I haven't won a division championship since 1993 or a playoff game. I'm saying, what in the world are we doing?
So let me take the other side. First of all, you're getting a 3rd-round pick for a 30-year-old guy. I get it. Golden Tate is a great player. They brought in Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia to fix it. Whatever it is, they need to fix it. So don't question how they're going to fix it if you hire them to fix it. Just get out of their way and let them fix it and give them time to see if their way works. That's the reasoning behind it.
3rd down and 2. Good protection. And the catch is made by T.J. Jones. Just his 4th catch of this year. Here's Carissa Thompson in L.A.
Thanks, Tom. New head coach for the Browns. Same outcome because you're playing the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes to Kareem Hunt, who takes this thing 50 yards. 8th straight game for Kareem Hunt with the touchdown. Chiefs up early, 7-0. Tom?
Well, yeah, Rissa looked like tackling was voluntary there for the Cleveland Browns. It's all right. You can go ahead and put a helmet on them. I mean, they're grabbing flags. Come on.
Stafford, he was looking down the field for something big and lays it off to Kerryon Johnson, and Johnson is just proving to be an excellent player. You thought so watching him in the preseason, that he was in line if given the chance to put up some good numbers, and he's doing that.
Yeah, they just have to get comfortable with him, and they did. And every time he gets an opportunity, I like him because he's a BYOBer. He's a bring your own blocker. He's his own blocker.
That's not what I was thinking.
And no, but that's what he is. And he's his own blocker, and he can make the extra man right there, like Harrison Smith in the box. There's 8 guys in there. He can make that extra guy miss.
BYOB. And there he is. And he is stopped after a gain of maybe a yard. I mean, in short order, and meaning in short order, starting to get more touches as this season goes on. Johnson has already joined legendary names like Billy Sims and your old teammate Barry Sanders, the only Lions rookies with over 450 rushing yards. Tack on another 150 receiving yards in the first 7 games of a career. Those are good numbers.
Now, he works with Stafford in practice. After every team period, he's with Matthew Stafford, and they're talking about routes and what depth to run them, angles, all that good stuff. Hard work. Not just a pass rusher.
That's right.
Not just a pass rusher.
That's Daniil Hunter you're talking about.
Yes, sir. 99. This is really good because on a pass rush down 2nd and 10, you're talking about Daniil Hunter. He's thinking they're going to pass the ball, but watch the adjustment right down the line of scrimmage, reading a quick screen, and his speed is able to close the distance when Theo Riddick catches the ball.
Well, he has something different in mind now on a 3rd down and 8. Man rush. Good protection and a beautiful throw. And a 3rd down conversion. That is Marvin Jones Jr. He's become the featured guy now in this offense without Golden Tate.
Yeah, Marvin Jones is going to do a great job of finding the open space. See Mackenzie Alexander getting a bump on him. The only problem is Mackenzie Alexander has to sync with him, get underneath him. Why? Because there's no threat in front of him. And so as a defensive back, if there's no threat in front of you, you get underneath and get depth with the wide receiver that just ran behind you.
They play this drive, and that is LeGarrette Blount. And he is dropped up by the perennial Pro Bowler, and what a year he's having. Maybe the best of his career in Harrison Smith. Just an outstanding football player.
Well, he brings safety qualities and safety skill. But guess what else he is? He's a will linebacker. He's a weak side linebacker. Nobody's as good inside the box as that guy right there, number 22, Harrison Smith.
Grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee. Started collegiately for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Blitz coming. Lions pick it up. And that is a 1st down. It is 1st and goal on the completion once again to Marvin Jones Jr.
This is such a great route because he's going to get Xavier Rhodes thinking he's going to run here. But watch the excellent balance of Marvin Jones running under control and being able to step back. Just great footwork by Marvin Jones Jr. and a dime thrown by Stafford where he does not have to work the transition from catch to run. Ball was right there.
Well, Jen Hale reported earlier that Rhodes re-aggravated that ankle injury. He did not play against New Orleans, you may remember. Injured that ankle against the Jets. We were doing that game. So you wonder if he's at 100%.
I would test it.
Kerryon Johnson and Gideon in coverage picking him up out of the backfield. It's 2nd down and goal.
Ben Gideon is playing really well. The problem is they play so much nickel, you don't get a chance. I like the fact that he does not look back for the football, so he does not lose his coverage. They're running out and up, and look at him go right through the hands. That's perfect technique. Every announcer I hear saying, oh, you got to look back for the ball. Not in the end zone. You never look back for the ball, or you will lose when you look back for the ball.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
Because I think I heard you say that one time. you have to take the brunt of my...
But believe me, I'm used to it. 3 years now. Taking a beating. Little delay to Johnson. And what a play right in the middle of that defense. This is a guy that's caught your eye. And Sheldon Richardson, former #1 pick of the Jets. Looked like his career was starting to spiral a bit. And a penalty flag down on the play.
Well, I talk about Sheldon Richardson, how solid he is against the run, obviously, but he commands double
Illegal
teams.
use of hands to the face, number 98. Defense, after this to the goal, automatic first down.
That's a huge penalty against Linval Joseph.
Automatic first down. He approves. Big fella right here, Linval Joseph. Let's see what happens right there. Yeah, his hand's right there in the face of Glasgow. Once that hand gets up there, if you can do your best and understand where that placement is, rip it back down, because that goes from 3rd and 8 down to 1st and 5.
Final 3 seconds of this quarter. Will they snap it before we get to the end? No is the answer. So a big penalty. Would have been 3rd and goal from just inside the 10. Now 1st and goal. Lions try to tie it up in Minneapolis. Lions 1st and goal from just inside the 5 as drive began. At their own 35, 11 plays, 61 yards. Stafford 5 of 6. And blown dead before it ever got started. They were pitching that ball to LeGarrette Blount.
The Vikings were showing blitz. You see right now, they jumped a little bit early, the Lions, because of threat of blitz. Yeah, just the threat got them a little jumpy.
False start. Number 60 in the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's a center.
And the Vikings, when you do that, that's great timing by the Viking linebackers. That means they got a beat on the cadence of Matthew Stafford, because they timed that pretty quickly and nicely to when the ball was being snapped, they would hit at full speed at the line of scrimmage. It's a good answer by the Lions, though. Good 3 and out, driving the football.
Instead of 1st and goal from the 4, it's now 1st and goal from the 9. Kerryon Johnson. Boy, what a great play. Hunter is there. Trey Wayne's also there, coming up from the cornerback spot. No gain.
Now you see J-Ron Curse, number 27, coming in the ball game for Ben Gideon. J-Ron Curse is a safety, but they play him like a linebacker, big nickel. So at home, that tells you that the Vikings are anticipating some type of pass. See J-Ron right there in your picture. He's on coverage right now. The tight end and running back, Ian Kendricks.
Excellent protection. Looking for Roberts. That's their touchdown guy when they get down into this area of the field. He's only been targeted 5 times all year long. He has 4 catches and 3 of them for touchdown.
You know, down in Toledo for the Rockets, and Matt Campbell, he had 16 catches in the red zone. 15 of them went for a touchdown. That's why he was drafted by the Lions for these type of situations.
What a job Matt Campbell's doing in Iowa State.
Here's your Golden Tate. I'm going to show you Golden Tate. He's actually back here. He's just wearing a different number. He's wearing 25. And his name is Theo Riddick today. He's been the Golden Tate player, and this is what they use Golden Tate as.
Down goes Stafford. Richardson was there, along with Tom Johnson.
Well, that's what I'm talking about with Richardson, what he brings to the table. You put him on a center, he's got a double team, but they run a nice stunt, and Tom Johnson pulls the guard in the center, clearing the way. Everything is a scheme. That's like a blocking scheme on offense. It's like a pulling guard. And there's got to be better communication between Glasgow and Lang. One of those guys has to pop off to pick him up.
That is the 52nd time that Stafford has been sacked by a Minnesota Viking, by far the most against any opponent he's played against in his career. 15 fewer than the next closest team would be Chicago. 35-yard try by Prater, and right down the middle. Well, you go from 1st and goal to 5. You get 3.
So I can speak football language. He's addressing the offensive line. He's pointing the offensive line, and watch him. He's going to point to Stafford right here at the end. And all he's going to say is, give the guy a chance to make a play. Right there. You see that pointing right there? Protect him. and he'll make a play. Then Stafford goes in and gives him a big group hug, and we love each other. You guys got my back. I got your back. Good job by Jim Bob Cooter challenging the guys.
Well, tomorrow night on Fox, 911 is all new, and critics agree the greatest and wildest show on television. We'll miss an all new 911 tomorrow, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, only on Fox. Our producer Mark Titleman was saying last night at our meeting what a great show that is.
Yeah, I'm dialed in. I never missed an episode. I got it on DVR and everything. Dialed in. They're dialed in. He's not committed. The neck isn't painted.
We're going to go back to that. First down, and a slant, and the first catch of the game. In pursuit of a 9th straight 100-yard receiving game is Adam Thielen. Here's Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Tom. So the Panthers were already up 7-0 on the Bucs when Cam Newton hands it off to Christian McCaffrey. Takes it in for 4 yards. Back-to-back games with a rushing touchdown from McCaffrey. Panthers up 14-0.
Tell you what, with all the talk about the Rams, rightfully so undefeated, the Saints have lost just one time. Don't look now, but here come the Panthers once again. Seemingly every year right in the hunt. Alvin Cook cuts it back to the inside.
And well, the guys, you know, it's Cam Newton, right? We talk about the Panthers. Cam Newton's, I think, has a career high in completion percentage. And so that certainly helps. And plus, he's rushed for over 400 yards. So it's a tough deal to stop.
I want to go back to you questioning that guy's commitment who showed up here today.
Yeah, he's got the purple face. That's halfway committed. If you're all in, you go total body paint. And at least the neck. Then the cover with the clothes. But just fool us that you're committed.
He may have left. His feelings might be hurt. Second down and 8. And they give it to Thielen. And short of a first down, run out of bounds.
This is a run that you do against man-to-man defense. And watch Thielen kind of slow his motion down. So he slows his motion down because he's trying to get Nevin Lawson to slow down. Right here, see Nevin Lawson got caught a little bit. Kyle Rudolph does a good job of getting a block out the edge. Christian Jones forcing him out, at least giving him a third down, but just a little detail. That's it. Well, the tats make up for it. So yeah, you're committed with the 84 tat, Randy Moss Superman tat.
Showing them all off.
Back in. You're back in. You're back in the club.
They're down at 3. Blitz coming. And the catch is made by Beebe. His dad is here today to watch his son touching the football in the National Football League. Grew up outside Chicago in Aurora, Illinois. Played collegiately in Northern Illinois.
So he's working on Slay. And I talked to Rick Spielman, the general manager, and I said, why is he up? What's he do? He said, simple reason. We can't cover him in practice, so we figured the Lions might have a hard time covering him. How about Don Beebe right there? I guarantee you his stomach is in his throat. If he's a dad like me, I can't even go to a Little League basketball game without yelling at everybody. He's calm.
You can't watch other kids' teams play without yelling at them. There's a throw, and not a good one by Cousins. It's intercepted by Darius Slay. Slay crossing midfield and dropped at the 43-yard line by Rudolph. And for Darius Slay, 15 interceptions the last 4 years, but that's his first. And a big time to get it. His team with a chance to take the lead. Takeaways have been few and far between for this Lions defense. Just 7 of them on the year. It's a second interception for Slay. And their first takeaway going all the way back to the Week 5 win over Green Bay. First down. What a cut by LeGarrette Blount. And he carries down to the 37-yard line.
Let's go back to the interception. I was asked this week why the Lions only have 2 interceptions. That's because they play man. Not on this play. They're playing zone. And so zone allows Darius Slay to have his head back to the quarterback so he can make a break on the ball. That cut you talked about that last play, Xavier Rhodes went down. He twisted his ankle on that. So Holton Hill, number 24, is in the ball game now for Xavier Rhodes. If you're Matthew Stafford, I got man coverage down here. I might want to throw a little test his way to see if he's warmed up.
There's nearly 150 pass attempts between interceptions by this Lions defense. LeGarrette Blount, a rare reception out of the backfield, and he's very close to a first down. Needed to get to the 34. Blount only 4 catches this entire year.
So I'm surprised he's not in. This is his territory, right? 3rd and 1, Tom. 4th and 1.
Yep.
I got Kerryon Johnson and Nick Bellore also in the ball game. The fullback.
Yeah, Bellore, a native Michigander, played at Central. Johnson. I tell you, it depends on the spot. This is very, very close.
I think he's short. I really do. I think he's short.
Big Linval Joseph, the first one there. If you're the Lions, do you go for it? Because they're short. They're going.
I think at the very least, what you do now, if you're the Lions, I like the fact they're going for it. Their defense is playing well. You also have to be alert of hard count. That's a quarterback sneak, so you want to take the A-gaps away.
I just cannot believe LeGarrette Blount's not in this game. When they get the ball at the goal line, he's the guy they put in there to run it. And they're going to throw it on 4th and a foot, and Stafford will pick up the first down. Well, he's so good at that over the last decade. You give him just a little bit of room, and he'll pick it up for you.
Yeah, and the Vikings do a good job of covering. They're playing man-to-man. The problem is you get sucked down inside if you're Danielle Hunter, and that gives a short corner to Matthew Stafford where he has an easy decision to make the tuck it and run. Good play call by Jim Bob Cooter right there. That's why Blount wasn't in the game.
Looked like early movement, apparently not. This is Johnson as he leapfrogs his way inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line.
I think the Lions got away with one with Taylor Decker jumped the count a little bit early. Harrison Smith showing blitz. Hits that on the run. You see Taylor Decker, number 68. Well, that's Ben Gideon's going to come in here showing blitz and see Taylor jump before that ball was snapped. Good break for the Lions.
Johnson 7 rushing attempts early on for a total of 13 yards. This is a stingy Minnesota run defense. Stafford throws, and it's caught just outside the 10 by Galladay. Talented player out of Northern Illinois.
Well, he's been a non-factor the last 2 weeks, and they're trying to get ways to hit the ball. They're playing zone coverage right there, and you get the feeling that Stafford's finding his groove a little bit. I mean, that back foot planted in the backfield, and he threw that ball with perfect timing. And Galladay, all you have to do is get in the zip code. He'll bring it down.
Galladay did not have a single Division I offer coming out of high school. Started at North Dakota, transferred to Northern Illinois. Well, they have big plans for him. Just his 2nd year in the league. First down. Stafford looking around and just throws it away.
Well, he was going for Theo Riddick. Eric Wilson, former college safety, converted linebacker, did a great job of man-to-man coverage on Theo Riddick, and that's hard to do. Here's Theo Riddick, and watch Eric Wilson right here, number 50. This is excellent coverage for a linebacker on a defensive back. Is able to get with him and stay with him, forcing Stafford to pull the ball down and make him throw it away. You're going to play in this league today as a linebacker. You better be able to play man, or you won't be playing.
Second down, 4-man rush, and drop for the 2nd time to Stafford. It's Danielle Hunter giving 9 sacks on the year. That's tied for the league lead with Aaron Donald.
Well, this is tough duty right here for Rick Wagner. Rick Wagner's given up 3 sacks on the year. You're going up against one of the best, and you just get beat with that inside move. First of all, he gets Rick Wagner retreating. He gets off balance, and the quickness of Danielle Hunter to plant that left foot and cut back inside. Tough duty for 71 out there. He's just got to be a little more patient.
They can get a first down at the 2-yard line. 3rd down and 13. I think they had to call a timeout right as the play clock was expiring. Looked like he got something in his eye, did Matthew Stafford.
Timeout.
Yep.
Yeah, he's had those rubber pellets all in his eye. Everson Griffin in, also on the sack. See right here.
And some of those pellets, Chris, you played, you see them popping up there. And one must have landed in that left eye.
Yeah. I think the guys love the surface compared to the old AstroTurf. And unfortunately for Detroit, you have to take a timeout to get that fixed. This is also, you know, how bad do they miss Golden Tate, right? Golden Tate was very dangerous in the red zone. Not the biggest guy, but a lot of times Golden Tate would bail the Lions out by getting him the ball at 5 or 6 yards. And everybody knows, it's well publicized, what he could do with run after catch.
Tate had 3 touchdowns this year, but he was on pace for another 1,000-yard receiving season. 3rd down and 13. Play clock down to 2. They may not give this one off. They just do. And Stafford had no chance. What a dynamic duo they are. Daniil Hunter and Everson Griffin to join Richardson and Joseph up front.
Yeah, let's see what they try to do to block Daniil Hunter. They got a little bit of a screen set up here, but it looks like a miscommunication. Plus, Daniil Hunter's back there so fast it does not allow time for the screen to set up.
Couple of chances inside the red zone, inside the opponent's 20. And a pair of field goal tries it'll be for Prater. Hit from 35 a minute ago, 35 this time, and good on each of them. A 1-point game in a tightly contested NFC North.
Fox is sponsored by Subway. Make it what you want. And by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
The Lions get the interception by Darius Slay, but can only turn it into another field goal and still down by 1 on the road here in Minnesota.
That's good to see Matt Patricia again being a head coach right there. In there in the middle was offense, and great job getting points off turnover. But we're on the road in the division. We got the ball in the red zone. We got to change those field goals into touchdowns somewhere along the line.
Vikings will get it at the 25. We're back after this message from Progressive. Minnesota went down the field on its opening possession, scoring a touchdown spanning 64 yards and a 3-and-out before the interception on the 3rd possession by Cousins. Dalvin Cook, big running room across midfield. Inside the 30 with a man to beat, and Dalvin Cook is tripped up inside the 10. Electrifying rookie a season ago was Cook before the injury, and he's excited to be back.
How's the hamstring? I don't know. Let's take a look. First of all, good blocking. Isidore does a good job. Elflein kicks out. Safeties are non-occupied. Glover Quinn does a great job of running him down, making a game touchdown save. Dalvin Cook, how's that feel? He's been frustrated. Got a chance to pop one right there. Can the Vikings finish their drive?
70-yard run by Dalvin Cook. Murray cuts it back to the inside, down to the 2-yard line. Well, you just can't talk enough about getting Cook back. There have been so many injuries around the league. This Minnesota team has just been ravaged with injuries. They had 7 of them that did not play last week against New Orleans. But now they're hoping to, bit by bit, get some of these players back. This is a team picked by many to go to the Super Bowl.
And that's why this is such an important game, not only for the Lions, who are 1 game out.
Into the end zone. That is a Touchdown for Adam Thielen.
The Lions aren't ready. They're not ready. There's confusion, and I don't know why there's confusion. Kyle Rudolph is going to do a good job of throwing a legal pick, allowing Thielen to clear. But watch the Lions. There's going to be confusion right here because they're going to be looking at each other. What are we going to do? And you have all those bodies that close together, and Lawson takes his eyes off the target, and that's why I say when you have man coverage, don't look back at the quarterback in the red zone. Keep your eyes on the target or you lose them. And there was confusion before the snap.
Going after by Dan Bailey, the former Cowboy, is good. That didn't last long. 70-yard run by Cook, touchdown Thielen. Cousins and the Vikes for the 14-6 lead. Our aerial coverage inside the dome, brought to you by State Farm. Adam Thielen trying to make it 9 straight games with 100 or more receiving yards, which would be an all-time single-season NFL record. He now has a touchdown in 6 straight games after the throw from Cousins. Brandon Powell, the rookie out of Florida. A penalty flag comes down. He's tackled at the 27-yard line.
During a return, holding. Number 47 to the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Pete Morelli, our referee, and we check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Tom. So you'll love this Norv Turner play call. Cam fakes to Christian McCaffrey, who pitches it to DJ Moore, to Curtis Samuel, who will do the rest. A 33-yard touchdown, a double reverse. The Panthers up in this one 21-7. We will see them on Fox on Thursday Night Football against the Steelers. Tom?
It's going to be a great game. Samuel, a really talented player out of your alma mater, the Ohio State Buckeyes. First down, Stafford, good protection. Dumps it off to Riddick. And hey, any way you can get him down, Trey Waynes found a way to trip him up.
Well, it's clear, and I think there's a big answer for the fans of Detroit. And I talked about it earlier. I'm going to say it again. Theo Riddick is no longer a third down back. Theo Riddick is Golden Tate, and he's your slot receiver moving forward. And I love that because I think he's such a dangerous guy.
A lot going on the injury front. We'll be checking in with Jennifer Hale here in a moment. LeGarrette Blount trying to cut it back. And Rhodes, who's been in and out, is back in there right now, Jen. Here's Jennifer.
Yeah, Tom, Rhodes has really been bothered by that foot that he tweaked last week versus the Saints. Tweaked it again Friday in practice. He's been getting some attention for it on the sideline, so not 100%. Also for the Lions, TJ Lang, you may notice he's rotating in and out of their offensive line. He's been doing that since he returned from concussion, but he certainly is not 100% either today.
All right, Jen Hale, thank you. We've reached a 2-minute warning. We're back in a moment. They're excited here in Minneapolis for this third down. 2-minute warning, and the Vikings with a 14-6 lead.
Let's see if they help Rick Wagner and Daniil Hunter.
They're down at 3. Here they come after Stafford again. Spins away from Richardson, and he's going to run it. And he will get another first down. Dropped up to the 34-yard line. Lions have had to use 2 of their timeouts already.
And watch Taylor Decker here. Taylor jumped the count a little bit, and he gets away with a little bit of a grab right there on Everson Griffin, but smart enough to get his hands off. And Matthew Stafford, still a very good athlete and dangerous guy running the football.
1:30 to go until halftime, and sacked for the third time is Stafford. And this time it's Stephen Weatherly who's becoming a force in rushing the passer on this Minnesota defense.
So it's a passing league, so you need to have more pass rushers. Weatherly has been a nice surprise to spell Griffin when he's out. Just a power rush by pushing Taylor Decker back into the quarterback. These guys are so worried about speed.
Stafford hit as he threw, and that went through the hands of Jones Jr.
So what they're doing, they're laying Taylor Decker. He's their left tackle. They play him a lot of money. He's handling Griffin or Weatherly one side. They're taking Theo Riddick or the back, and you have to account for Daniil Hunter, and they're helping Rick Wagner on that side. Taylor's doing a pretty decent job of holding up, but Daniil Hunter is the threat. That's where the double team usually comes in the help. With the tight end here, they're helping with Luke Wilson and Rick Wagner.
Well, they brought in an extra linebacker, extra defensive back. Only 3 down linemen defensively. On 3rd and forever. Lay it off to Riddick. And he'll be run out of bounds at the 37-yard line. So with 50 seconds left. And all 3 timeouts.
A DAS.
Offense will get it back.
A DAS. You know what a DAS? Patton said in the Battle of the Bulge, we must DAS. Attack. Don't play passive. Be aggressive. Not passive aggressive, just aggressive.
You know you're doing a game with Chris Spielman when we're referencing the great George Patton.
Yes, sir. Attack. Always be aggressive. Be on the offense.
I'm not sure Truman was buying that all the time, though. Sherrills, so elusive for so long, and he's put him in prime time position to try and add to this lead in the final 39 seconds of the half. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, it's Week 9 and we're halfway through the season. Check out highlights from the Jets and Dolphins. The Steelers visit the Ravens, and the Browns have the tough task of taking on the Chiefs. It's all coming your way on the Visa Halftime.
28-yard return for Sherrills. He's a Minnesota kid, born and raised, played collegiately for the Golden Gophers.
You got Glover Quinn right here, going to be guarding Dalvin Cook. Oh, excuse me, right there. There's Glover.
First down, and laid off to Treadwell, and that's a big gain on first down. Let's go to Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Tom. So the Bears were already up 14-0 in Buffalo. Nathan Peterman's pass is deflected, intercepted by Leonard Floyd, who takes it in for the touchdown. Bears' second defensive touchdown of the day. They're up 21-0. Tom?
Bears trying to maintain the lead in this NFC North at 4-3. The Packers are off this week at 3-3-1. Minnesota at 4-3-1, and these Lions just 1 game out. Looking for Treadwell, and a penalty flag comes in. Now Tabor is going to claim it was Treadwell who shoved him, and I'm not sure they're buying it. I think this is holding against Tabor.
Holding. Number 31 defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So the Lions are going to put pressure on Tabor because you watch Thielen, he's going to get doubled. This is how the Lions have to answer Adam Thielen. There's going to be 2 guys. You have Lawson and you have Quandre Diggs looking to help and leaving Tabor alone on Treadwell. Actually a good call, only a 5-yard penalty. So if you feel like you're beat deep, grab the guy. Get the holding before the PI.
28 ticks until halftime. They hand it to Cook. His last touch was a career best 70-yard run. And the Vikings will spend 1 of their 3 timeouts. 23 seconds to go until halftime. And you know, Chris, we talk about injuries, we talk about this guy being traded, Golden Tate, you talk about everything else. At the end of the day, this is an extremely important game inside the division for both of these teams.
It is, and you know, you talk to Matt Patricia. I was talking to him last week about injuries. Everybody has injuries, right? That's the deal. You're only 1 game out, and you're starting this. The season starts now, and if you're the Vikings, obviously you got to protect your home base. And if you're the Lions, if you can steal one on the road, you have to. But I do think, obviously, the obvious answer is the game is between the red zones, right? You walk away with 2 field goals, and the Vikings walk away with 2 touchdowns.
That's right. We talk about it all the time, whether the red zone stat you want to pay attention to or the turnover battle. Right now, that would be in the Lions' favor. No flag. Now one comes in late. Free play, it would appear. And a nice recovery there by Tabor, but it looked like Ezekiel Lanza started too soon.
Yeah, I think you're right. Ziggy's been out for a long time, and a welcome back addition. Got a little anxious.
Defense, number 94 offside. 5-yard penalty, and the result of the penalty is a first down.
It's been a real battle these last 3 years to stay healthy for Ansu.
Yeah, I know he gets frustrated working on Riley Reef, who was questionable coming in this week, but he's trying to jump the count. He's got to be patient, trust him. He's too good of a player to try to cheat or jump the count. He's got speed off the edge. He has long arms, power. Just trust him.
Got injured in that week 1 loss to the New York Jets. Has not played since until today. He is their best pass rusher. 17 seconds left. Cousins lays it off to Thielen. And another timeout with 11 seconds remaining.
What a great job by Christian Jones taking care of Chad Beebe. They had the matchup that they wanted. But Christian Jones, outstanding effort on a wide receiver. Here's Chad Beebe. Watch Christian Jones get away from Rudolph, avoid the pick, and he's going to run with him all the way. See that? Outstanding job, Christian, keeping him in position. Now, if I'm Chad Beebe, I run that route through the end zone or cut it back to try to clear and make room for Adam Thielen. But outstanding effort, Christian. I mean, I celebrate guys that make great plays. I don't care what team. That was just outstanding.
You do. But you're beating down a fan for not having paint on his neck.
He's not committed.
Go figure. Well, do they take one more shot at it into the end zone with 1 timeout left? They'll have to burn that timeout. They can forget going to the end zone.
Now there's Ziggy. There's a welcome back for Ziggy.
Second sack of the year. First in 7 weeks.
So what they're going to do is they're going to isolate Ziggy on Isidore, number 63. And he just gets bull rushed because he was late with his hands. When the first contact on pass protection for an offensive lineman is his shoulder, that's equivalent, you're beat. If you're hitting a guy with your shoulders, your first contact, it's over. Ball game. Go help your quarterback up.
So out comes Dan Bailey. They brought him in, the general manager Rick Spielman, in the 3rd week of the year. Has missed 3 times. He's been one of the all-time greats, 3rd best career percentage in the history of the league. 39 yards, and I mean split C uprights from Dan Bailey. You know, we were at dinner the other night, and you know, a lot of times when fans see great stars out in public, you want to go over and take a picture and say hello. That was Chris Spielman when we saw Chuck Foreman on Friday night. Look at that. There's a picture.
I was so embarrassed, but I couldn't help myself because it just takes me back to my youth and one of my best Christmases ever. I got a 44 Chuck Foreman jersey. And he was such a great player and really a dual threat, right? Yeah. One of the first dual threats that I remember, guy coming out of the backfield. You know what he did best? Well, stay right there. What he did? No, you're good. You're good. He did right here. But Chuck Foreman invented the spin move.
Right.
That was his thing, man. And I tried to imitate that when I was a player. I was a running back. I know.
I didn't know you played anything else. You try it again.
All right, here's the spin.
So go ahead.
Chuck Foreman he'd hit in contact and give the spin move. He was the best spin move dude ever to play.
I'm saying a prayer of thanks, and I'm not run over up here. You played running back?
Yeah. Believe it or not, yeah.
I didn't even think you talked to running backs.
I did when I helped him up after a tackle for loss.
Wilson. And the first half comes to an end. So a couple of big chances to get touchdowns for Stafford and company. But the first half play presented by DirecTV. More for your thing. That's our thing. 6 straight games, a touchdown for Adam Thielen. Although a long way to go to get to 100 receiving yards. 3 catches, 16 yards. All right, guys are standing by in L.A. for the Visa halftime. Take it away, gentlemen.
By NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Latavius Murray spins away, trying to get in the end zone. The ball is loose. It appears to be covered by Minnesota for a touchdown, and it is. 70-yard run by Cook. Touchdown, Thielen. So trips inside the opponent's 20, and the Vikings coming away with a couple of touchdowns. And for the Lions, a couple of field goals. Back with Jen Hale. Chris Spielman, I'm Tom Brenneman. Great to have you with us. And this figures to be a very tight one going down to the end. It's been the pressure of the quarterback so far that's been the difference.
Yeah, and the deal is, if it's a problem for the Lions because they're only getting pressure with 4. And where is that pressure coming from? First of all, it's 2 inside guys getting the sack, Johnson and Richardson. And how about 2 outside guys? They're only bringing 4, so that allows 7 in coverage. And Matthew Stafford is as tough as they get, but when you have the outside pressure, coverage has been good downfield. And the reason thing, you go back to the Lions, okay, what's their mentality? Why have they had success? When they play their best, they're a balanced offense. They're effective running the football. The problem is, last week against Seattle, they got behind. They had to throw to get back in it. They're down here 11. In my opinion, they should stick to their regular offense. Everybody knows, and this is not some genius thing. It's common sense thing. Stay with your offense. See if you can get Kerryon Johnson established on the ground to take some pressure off that offensive line and Matt Stafford. And I know he'd like to do that. He's telling that guy right now, we're going to run the ball this half.
Well, the third quarter's been a big problem for Matt Patricia and the Lions this year. Take a look. Point differential, minus 54. Dead last in the NFL. Lions get the ball to begin the second half, and here's Jennifer Hale.
Well, Tom, Mike Zimmer thrilled with the success of this rush game and the return of Dalvin Cook. 106 yards is by far the most rushing yards they've had in a half this season. And it's a good thing since this Lions defense is successfully double-teaming and containing Adam Thielen. Meanwhile, Matt Patricia, so far no answers for the absence of Golden Tate. He talked to his team about executing and finishing drives in the locker room, hoping to turn these field goals into touchdowns this half.
All right, Jen, great to have you with us this week here in Minneapolis. Traveling all over the country is Jen Hale between the NBA, college football, and the pro game. First down. Alexander on the tackle. That'll be a gain of 3. Johnson 8 rushing attempts so far for a grand total of 17 yards.
Coming into the game, he was averaging 6.05 yards per carry. Definitely a threat.
Johnson again on back-to-back downs. Spins out of a tackle, crosses the 30 up to the 31. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4. Everson Griffin on the stop.
You know, it's interesting. Here comes Theo Riddick. This is where Golden Tate was so money for them. So money for them, and you know, you lose that. And not even when he didn't get the ball, other defenses were aware of Golden Tate, so they had that count for Golden Tate. And we told you, Theo Riddick has been playing a little bit of that slot position. He's lined up at running back now. T.J. Jones is in the Golden Tate position right here.
Play clock winding down, getting to 5. They get it off, 3rd down. Riddick. They wanted Riddick to release, it looked like, and he was able to not find an opening, and down for the 4th time today goes Stafford. Well, and Riddick was really upset.
You're going to see a guy make a sack that never leaves the ground. He's going to get thrown to the ground by T.J. Lang and Johnson. And watch this. He's just going to keep rolling and rolling and rolling and back on the ground. See, effort always wins the battle. Effort and toughness beats soft serve and talent all the time.
Soft serve.
Soft serve.
Is that like not real ice cream?
Yeah. No.
You want to define going to break soft serve for a player very
guys
quickly?
that are soft. It just beats soft guys. Effort wins.
This game is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you.
First half offensive possessions for the Minnesota Vikings. A touchdown on the opening possession, a 3-and-out, a pick. But then 3 plays highlighted by the 70-yard run by Dalvin Cook, who is back for just the second time in the last 7 weeks. And this is Latavius Murray. And a gain of 9 on first down.
We talked to Mike Zimmer on Friday. It's interesting what he said. He said his team, they play better when they're angry or ticked off about something. And you can tell that he's confident because guys, offensive linemen run block better when they're angry and ticked off. You know what gets them angry? If they have to drop back and pass and all you do is absorb the hit. When they're running the game, offensive linemen become the hitter as opposed to the hittee.
Hey, River, duck!
That did not look good on the injury there to David Morgan. It's been a very quiet day so far outside of the 2-yard touchdown reception for Adam Thielen. Jen Hale.
Well, Tom, no doubt this Lions defense has been double teaming Thielen, but he's also working through a bit of a calf injury. He's been keeping a heating pad on that calf on the sidelines, trying to keep it warm. He tweaked it. It's been bothering him all week in practice, but nothing too serious. It's flaming up, giving him some problems now, but as you can see, he's doing his very best to tough it out and work through it.
Well, we could noticeably pick up that he was limping a couple of times in the opening half. Latavius Murray drives forward up to the 43-yard line.
There's Damon Harrison making a tackle away from his side of the field. Again, I want to emphasize as the season goes and he gets more comfortable with the scheme, how much of a factor he is in that run defense. That has to improve if they want to be factors in this NFC North. I think it was a great pickup by Bob Quinn, 5th rounder. That's a no-brainer. That's what Bob told me, and I agree. I agree with you 100%. But I'm biased to those guys. I love guys like that. They make me look better. Help my job. 20 years ago.
I was getting ready to say it now. Well, today, here's a throw, and that is Rudolph. Shoved out of bounds at the 48-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2, maybe 3. Oh, 3. I want to go back to something you said a minute ago, because no one could ever make me believe, since Matthew Stafford has come into the NFL, he has thrown the ball on average more times per game than any quarterback. And we all agree Stafford is a great quarterback. But he's never won a playoff game, and that's not all entirely on him. But when you're his offensive lineman and you're getting run into because you're throwing it 40 and 45 times a game, I think you bring up a great point about these guys are just getting their brains beat in year after year after year.
That's the thing, and as we saw Adam Thielen jump a little bit on the count. He got hard counted by his own quarterback.
Offense, 5-yard penalty,
but
still
just,
3rd down.
you think about it, Tom, as we talked about pass protection, right? As an offensive lineman, you have to be passive. You have to be patient. You're having 300-pound dudes run into you as hard as they can, and they're punching in the chest. And you have to absorb blows and anchor. So you get tired of that. And so to be able to come off and be the aggressor and be the hitter as opposed to the hittee, just what you live for as an offensive lineman.
I think that's what Matt Patricia's trying to change in this Detroit Lions organization. So 3rd down and 3 becomes 3rd down and 8. And that's a tough catch, and it is made by Aldrick Robinson, former teammate of Cousins with the Washington Redskins, and they convert on 3rd and long.
And this is all about timing, because this ball is going to be put in the air before Robinson comes out of his break, and a nice job of working back to the football and going up and catching and reaching for the ball. Instead of letting it come to him, he goes and gets it, and that keeps Slay away from knocking it. They got Aldrick Robinson in to stretch the field. Speed guy. Take a shot.
First down after the 10-yard gain. The screen to Dalvin Cook. Got a couple of good blocks and lost his footing as he put the foot in the ground.
It's a great play by Glover Quinn. Really is, because he had people and yards ahead to be gained. Glover Quinn's going to submarine under the blocker here. This is just a beautiful job of avoiding a blocker like this. See that? And getting that right arm in there. Nice job. Big 74 out there. And Mike Remmers Golden Tate knows, why would I hit a 330-pound guy head up?
Oh, boy. Hello, and there's a guy you were just talking about, Big Damon Harrison. Mercy, mercy, mercy.
So,
you'll hear that one in the 5th deck.
I'm going to do something Alice rarely does, is I'm going to shut up, and you just watch. Thank you, sir.
And now on a 3rd down and 6, he'll go to the sideline. They converted on 3rd and 8 a moment ago. And now Cousins to the end zone. And right through the fingers of Aldrick Robinson. Darius Slay on the coverage. Let's see if he knocked it out of there.
So we talked about why is he here to stretch the field. Great coverage by Slay. And Cousins throws a perfect ball to drop. It's just a drop and a missed opportunity for the Minnesota Vikings. Big stop by the Lions right there.
Let's maybe circle that play right there and see how things go the rest of this way. That one will be down inside the 3-yard line. Sherrills had a big return earlier. So Matt Wild able to pin him inside the 5.
Darrell Hazel, former head coach at Purdue, wide receivers coach. Understand how to coach your guys. He's sitting there. You'll get the next one. You'll get another opportunity. Sometimes you got to get in guys' faces. Hey, catch the darn ball. That one, he went up to him, put a hand on his back, get the next one. Know your guys.
So starting deep inside their own territory and a nice 1st down pickup. Now the Lions have faced double-digit deficits in all 4 of their losses this year. Week 1 just got blown out by the Jets, trailed by 17 to the Niners, pulled within 3, nearly won that game. Same thing at Dallas, losing at the buzzer. And then really had a couple of chances last week. You saw the game against Seattle. Gain of 6 on 1st down. 2nd down, it'll be Johnson close to a 1st down. Powerful running by the rookie. And powerful back in LA is Carissa Thompson.
Powerful are the Falcons, Tom. Up 21-7 in Washington. Opening drive of the 2nd half. Matt Ryan finds Tevin Coleman for this 10-yard score. Coleman's 2nd of the day. Falcons looking for their first road win. They lead this one 28-7.
I'm stunned by that.
Yeah, we were down there a couple weeks ago. They've had some injury issues, and Dan Quinn was looking forward to getting to the bye to get healthy and playing well.
Well, they got those back-to-back wins against Tampa Bay and the Giants leading up to the bye to get within 1 game of 500. And now Stafford is dropped for a 5th time. 2nd time by Daniil Hunter, who at least as of right now leads the NFL in sacks. He has 10 of them.
Yeah, he might have a half a sack early. Again, how are you going to help Rick Wagner? Because it's a tough matchup for Rick Wagner. You got a tight end there, but that's really not on Rick. That's on Matthew Stafford. Either step up into the pocket more, or if you have nothing there, get rid of it.
6 sacks on Stafford in 2.5 quarters.
So if I'm Vikings, you alert any type of screen. 2nd and long, oftentimes as a player, you alert screen.
Short throw, covered perfectly by Rhodes, who strips it out of there, but it bounces out of bounds. Boy, Xavier Rhodes just tore that ball away from Marvin Jones Jr.
Lions catch a break and they get a valuable bounce. And because of the pressure, they go to a quick passing game. And I love this on Xavier Rhodes. You know why? Because he doesn't go for the strip right away. He secures the tackle, then works down to the strip. Secure the tackle first, then try to create the turnover.
They're down at 5. They need to get up to the 23 to convert. Lions still very much in this game. Long way to go. They're going to buy him a little time and roll out. And the throw is low. It's incomplete. Although it looked like from here on the first look, we'll see it again, that looked like a catchable ball.
Yeah. Designed rollout to create some space. The ball's thrown low and away. Marvin Jones loses his footing. Tough catch to make, but he's good enough to make that catch. And on the road, tough catches need to be made when you're going up against a tough opponent.
His son kind of player. Pro Bowler each of the last couple of years. Excellent field position for Zimmer's Vikings. Patricia and the Lions on the short end of a 17-6 game.
Sponsored by Chevy. Chevy has earned J.D. Power Dependability Awards across cars, trucks, and SUVs. And by Burger King. Get 10 crispy chicken nuggets for just $1 only at Burger King.
Well, Jen Hale reporting a little while ago about the troublesome right calf of Adam Thielen. They're wrapping that thing when the offense is on the sideline. But Thielen will stay in the game. He has 3 receptions for a total of 16 yards. He has 100 or more receiving yards in each of the first 8 games this year, an NFL record. And he'll tack on 6 yards, maybe 7 without reception. All right, Saturday, Dwayne Haskins and the mighty Ohio State University Buckeyes will go to East Lansing to take on Mark D'Antonio's Michigan State Spartans. Coverage begins 11:30 a.m. Eastern on Fox, or watch it anywhere on the Fox Sports app.
Yeah, Gino, Mark D'Antonio usually has the Spartans ready to play. Ohio State, he and Urban Meyer were graduate assistants together at Ohio State at one time.
Second down, and this is Latavius Murray, and again it is Damon Harrison.
Yeah, I just, run away from him. Don't run right at him, because it's not going to work out. This is a bear front. I want to tell you what a bear front is real quick. All these guys are covered. There's a 3 technique. Outside shoulder of the guard, outside the shoulder of the guard. All these gaps are taken. So don't run in there. Run outside and against that bear front. Especially when he's in the middle. His job is, hey boys, I got both A gaps. Everybody else, have a good time, because the ball will not run in both A gaps. From guard to guard, that's both A gaps. That's how that's defined.
Detroit needing another stop here on 3rd down and 3. And Cousins steps up, incomplete.
I thought he could have run
right at the 45-yard line. There appeared to be some kind of miscommunication there.
Well, I apologize, Tom. I jumped in because I got excited because he should have run the football right here. He does step up into the pocket. Now watch this throwing lane turn into a running lane. See that running lane? That's a 1st down. Go ahead. Tuck it and go. Good job by the Lions covering downfield, turning zone coverage into man coverage.
Oh, just missing, getting a piece of that one.
Eli Harold.
And a fair catch at the 19-yard line. Really close. It's still a game now. Can Stafford and the Lions get it cranked up?
Sponsored by Applebee's new neighborhood pasta, starting at just $11.99.
Aerial coverage sponsored by State Farm. Injuries beginning to pile up on that offensive line for the Detroit Lions. They have a new right guard. They have a new left tackle. Taylor Decker was running into the locker room after the last possession. We thought it might just be a Mother Nature break, but he's not come back out.
Crosby filled in for Decker last week and did a pretty decent job. Rookie out of Oregon, getting better with reps. He did a good job on Everson Griffin on a run block to help him get settled in. Let him be the aggressor, what we talked about.
Decker's been bothered by a tender back, forcing him out of the game, as Chris mentioned last weekend. Stafford with time, and he finds Marvin Jones Jr. run out of bounds at the 30. That'll be a 1st down for the Lions. 2:45 to go here in the 3rd. It's the 6th time in Matthew Stafford's career he's been sacked 6 times or more in a game. 3 of the 6 have come against Minnesota. And they pitch it to Kerryon Johnson. Boy, what an open field tackle that is by Eric Kendricks. So dependable. The Vikings leading tackler for now a 4th straight year.
Yeah, I love the play call, but Eric Kendricks, and one thing he can do better than most Mike linebackers in the league is he can run. And Kerryon Johnson's a fast guy. See Eric Kendricks getting out there and wrapping his arms, securing the tackle for Kerryon Johnson, who normally can make that guy miss. Eric Kendricks, I thought was the MVP of their team last year on the defensive side of the ball.
Really?
Yes, I did.
Blitz coming, and Stafford is laid out by Mackenzie Alexander. And that matches a career-high 7th sack of Matthew Stafford here today. Minnesota did it to him in 2015.
Here comes Mackenzie Alexander. Let's see what happens on the breakdown with the Lions. And Alexander just running free is able to get to Matthew Stafford in a hurry, and he has no shot.
That's 3 sacks on this season now for the defensive back Mackenzie Alexander. Lions 3 of 10 on 3rd down, and here comes the Vikings defense again. And after first not getting there, Griffin tracks him down from behind, an 8th sack. Here's Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Tom. So the Steelers were already up 14-6 when Ben Roethlisberger takes this one in himself. A missed extra point has his team up 20-6 on the road. Tom?
Tell you what, when the Ravens have had to play the other 2 heavyweights inside that AFC North, both the Bengals and the Steelers have taken it to them.
Oh, using the heavyweight term lightly these days, huh?
Quite lightly. Fair catch to the 22. So what are you saying, in other words?
I mean, a lot of parity in the NFL. That's what I'm saying. That's it. Nothing more. Nothing less.
Set to begin the 4th quarter. Neither team with a point in the 3rd quarter, and we mentioned Matthew Stafford sacked a career high 8 times with a full quarter left to go.
Yeah, and bad news for Matthew is that their best pass protector, Taylor Decker, was out last series.
I understand that Decker, we just got a report from Jen Hale that he's cramping up, and so it's a probable return. That's good news. Now the back again is Dalvin Cook, playing for just a 2nd time in the last 7 weeks, off to the left side for maybe a yard.
The offensive line, and Jeff Davidson, former assistant line coach here with the Vikings, going over some adjustments. And when you have fresh pass rushers like the Vikings have, there's not a lot you can do. And I do think the Lions offense is missing Golden Tate because it helps the other receivers, because as a defense you have to account for where Golden Tate is every single down.
Well, they have gotten next to nothing from their wide receiving core. Now, do you blame it on them as Cook is bottled up 6 yards short of the 1st down? But you have Marvin Jones Jr., 4 catches, 50 yards. Galladay with 1 catch. T.J. Jones with 1 catch. And that's it from the receiving core, taking away, of course, the running backs.
Yeah, well, and Theo Riddick, in fairness to that, has also played a lot of the Golden Tate position, as we pointed out in the 1st half. But I'll tell you who's done a good job is this Lions defense. The Vikings right now on 3rd downs, for example, you look at their percentage, they're 2 for 6. So this is a big 3rd down for the Lions to give their offense a chance. Playing zone coverage, too. Look how far off they are.
And early movement, it looked like the right tackle, Brian O'Neill, the rookie out of
False
Pittsburgh.
start, number 75, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And this is the 2nd 3rd down in a row when they had a 3rd and 5 or less that puts them back to 3rd and 9 or less. And you look at those percentages, there's a huge difference in the difficulty of being able to get there. And those are self-inflicted wounds that makes that man very upset. He wants to be able to trust. And he's had a good year. Brian O'Neill. Surprise.
Quiet day for Cousins. He has 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and just lofts it down the middle. Can you believe that catch by Rudolph? And a flag comes in after the tackle.
Boy, you know, Kirk Cousins, his whole career, it's been this. No, great throw. Great throw. No, great throw. That's my analysis on that play. How's
Pass
that?
interference, number 31, defense. Penalty will be declined as a result of the play. First down.
Well, Rudolph has been so good for so long. 58th consecutive game. It's a Minnesota tight end record. Over 350 catches. 39 touchdowns. And they lay it off to Dalvin Cook. Cuts it back to the inside and across the 50 to the 47-yard line. Tripped up by Nevin Lawson.
You know, I'm just seeing with Dalvin Cook, Tom, he's getting more confident, right? When he tried to come back earlier, he was running soft, man. He just wasn't running like Dalvin Cook. The more he plays, the more touches he gets, the more confident he gets, and the more explosive he will become.
And now we're in the 4th quarter with 12.5 to go, under 12.5 to go, and you figure Minnesota would like to run the ball a little bit. Second down, that'll be a loss of 2. You wonder if Thielen's going to get to 100. He had 103, a touchdown. Did have a big fumble last week. Been bothered by that tender calf. Trying to break the record that he shares for consecutive 100-yard receiving games in a single season. Calvin Johnson did it in 2012 for these Lions.
You know what that tells me? What a difference maker Stephon Diggs is, right? For Adam Thielen. Just like they miss Golden Tate, Thielen misses Diggs. He's working one-on-one at the top.
Cousins looking that way for Thielen. And a flag comes down along the sideline. Got tangled up down there.
It's a good job by Nevin Lawson, but he got handsy on Thielen. Real handsy. Let's see if that's the call. Nevin's a competitor.
Personal foul. Grabbing the face mask. Number 24 defense. 15-yard penalty automatic. First down.
So he's done a decent job when he's had him one-on-one, but right here he's going to grab the face mask right there. You see the flag flying in, and excellent coverage, though, and that's holding, grabbing the face mask, pass interference, dealer's choice. What do you want? He's a competitive guy, though. He's moved into the nickel this year when he doesn't play corner.
After the penalty, ball down to the 34-yard line, and Cousins will throw it on first down. Quick slant. Reception made by Aldrick Robinson, very close to another first down.
You got that one. And that had some mustard on it. What do you baseball? That was the 1 or the 2? Fastball.
Fastball number 1.
Fastball.
You watch a lot of baseball this summer. Come on. You watch a lot on television.
I watched a total of 3 innings only because you were calling the game. But here's the zip right there. And you heard that ball hit those pads. I mean, they're throwing it on first down. B. Filippo. I wonder if Zim's going to get on the headset and say, hey, start running the football.
Such an interesting conversation with Mike Zimmer the other day on that very topic. Dalvin Cook, and they do run the football. He's down to the 19-yard line. We were sharing the story about Barry Alvarez, our old friend, the athletic director at the University of Wisconsin. I believe it was a game against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. The first 17 plays of the game, Wisconsin gave the ball to Ron Dane. And the offensive coordinator, who was the play caller, kept calling for other plays, and Barry Alvarez would jump on the headset and say, no, we're going to keep running this one until they can stop this play.
Yeah, exactly.
Which teams rarely ever did against Ron Dane. Well, we're talking to Mike Zimmer about, does he do that from time to time? They pitch it here to Cook. And it looks like the Vikings will turn it over. Sean Robinson is able to cover it up, and what a huge turnover that is for the Minnesota Vikings. Cook just dropped it. Lions football.
segment is sponsored by Pizza Hut, official pizza sponsor of the NFL. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Fundamentals. See ball, catch ball. Watch Dalvin Cook. He's going to take his eye off the ball just a little bit. He just drops it, gives the Lions a great opportunity. They must get points off the turnover some way, somehow, to make this a one-possession ball game.
Well, the question is, can they protect Stafford? He has been sacked more times in this game today than any game in his career. 8. They fake the run. They come back the other way to Johnson. Sniffed out beautifully by Tom Johnson. Johnson, one of the great stories in the NFL. You know, a young man who came out. He had to bounce around. NFL Europe, the Arena League, the Canadian Football League. New Orleans finally signed him 5 years after what would have been his rookie year. And he's been a solid player here for Minnesota.
Yeah, and started out the year in Seattle.
Yep.
Seattle released him. Then the Vikings swooped in and got him.
And his Viking defense is starting to look like that defense from a year ago. The #1 scoring defense in the NFL. Got off to a slow start. Had the disaster against Buffalo, the shootout against the Rams. Completed pass to Roberts, a tight end. And that's up to the 35-yard line.
That's what they've been missing, right? They let go Eric Ebron, who's now, I believe, with the Colts. And Michael Roberts, if they can get him involved in the passing game, that's going to help both Golladay and Marvin Jones as we prepare for this huge third down. See if the Vikings get aggressive and bring pressure. They've been getting there with 4, except when a Mackenzie Alexander sack. Showing blitz with Harrison Smith. There's Alexander. Here's Smith. 2 good blitzers.
They're coming after Stafford again. They pick it up this time. He's still looking around and just lofts it down the sideline. Had a shot right there on Golladay, and it's incomplete. And the Lions have to punt it again.
Tremendous job by Riddick to even allow Stafford a chance, as Wilson is going to come free. Just enough to get Stafford time to buy. And Golladay is a little late on the adjustment to turn it upfield because he was working out there with Everson Griffin, a defensive lineman. So he needs to recognize his matchup that he has and turn it upfield quicker. Good job by Riddick on the blitz pickup. Fake.
And they fake the punt, and they're going to convert it. How about that? Up to the 41-yard line. And that is Tavon Wilson, a safety.
Great call, Matt Patricia. Excellent. Don't take it for granted. Somebody always has to secure the outside. You see number 47 right there? Tracy Walker does a good job of sealing. And Tavon Wilson, clutch. Good patience and gutsy call by Matt Patricia.
Well, look, these are back-to-back huge games on the road inside their division. For this Detroit Lions team, they'll go to Chicago, the division leader, next week. And it looked like they were going to try the flea flicker there, and it never got off the ground because you can't slow down Stephen Weatherly.
Good call, Tom. And how do you know it's a flea flicker? Because these guys aren't coming off the ball. Vikings aren't fooled because the offensive line is pass protecting. You see that? There's nobody firing off the football. That gives the linebackers and the safeties a good read of getting depth.
So in essence, that's like another sack.
Absolutely.
Average gain today for the Lions, 2.8. You be the judge. Are they missing Golden Tate here today? Second down and 14. Pocket collapses again on Stafford, and he is going to pitch it. And the ball is on the ground. Minnesota scoops it up. And on his way into the end zone is Danielle Hunter. That is a touchdown. Well, they had big old Linval Joseph run one back 64 yards in the win over Philly. And now Danielle Hunter's turn.
So you remember I talk about effort winning the battle? Just watch Danielle Hunter's effort. He's blocked. He's chasing. He missed the sack. He's still running. He's chasing. I don't know what Matthew Stafford is thinking. I can't. That makes zero sense to me of why he pitches the ball back. Take what you can get and give yourself a chance as opposed to putting the football in jeopardy. And here's one more thing. Trust your athletic ability not to fall on it, to go down and scoop it up like Joey Votto. Getting the touchdown. Scooter Gennett, second baseman, scoop it and score. But Matthews normally makes a better decision than that. Either slide or get out of bounds.
They're fired up on that Minnesota sideline, and rightfully so. Here's Dan Bailey. And the point after is good, 24-6. What a frustrating day it's been for Stafford and the Lions on offense. You rarely ever hear Danielle Hunter's name bandied about when you start talking about, great pass rushers around the NFL. He is very much in that conversation.
Well, not only a pass rusher, you saw 9 tackles, but also a run defender, but his effort is unmatched. And I'll tell you, you might not hear him around the league. The Vikings recognize the talent that they had in this offseason. Right before the season, they locked Danielle Hunter up until 2023. And that's a foundation. And not only is he a great pass rusher, his effort is on question, and he's an outstanding run defender for being light. I mean, he's not a heavy guy.
Well, the last 3 years, only Chandler Jones and Von Miller have more sacks in the NFL than Danielle Hunter, and he's the league leader with now 10.5 so far this year. They're going to force a return here on a little pop-up kick after the penalty. And out to the 21-yard line. Penalty flags down again.
Holding, number 35 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Fox Sports Supports is proud to partner with A Mission Continues, a nonprofit organization deploying military veterans to build stronger communities across the nation by improving schools, revitalizing parks, and empowering community development. Visit missioncontinues.org to volunteer or donate. We thank all those who have, who are, and who will serve the greatest country in the world. Taylor Decker's been in and out all day long. Back in there again at left tackle. Riddick to the 15.
Now you'll see a different type of philosophy from Mike Zimmer in his defense. Because of the situation, they're going to play off, and they'll let Matthew Stafford get all kind of numbers here, similar last week, but nothing over your head. Make sure you get enough depth and protect the back end. No big plays, no chunk plays if you're Vikings.
Luke Wilson, the tight end, the Ontario native, grew up a Lions fan. The reception up to the 21. It'll bring up third down and the short 2.
See Harrison Smith again, second guy in, raking at the football. He knew that he had Eric Wilson, number 50, coming in. That's their mentality. That's the mindset of this Viking defense that's coached by Mike Zimmer.
First down on the completion to Marvin Jones Jr. right there with him step for step. Xavier Rhodes will move the chains as we close in on 5:41 left. Wilson once more stays on his feet and lunges ahead for a first down at the 38-yard line, and Smith on the stop. We asked a question earlier, and Chris, you and I, I'm not going to say we disagreed on it. There's nothing wrong with being able to disagree on it. But if you're a Lions fan and you're one game out of first place and you're playing two of the teams that are ahead of you in the standings, the week before you go make a deal to improve your defense, and then a week later you trade away your best offensive player and among the top 5, 7, 8, 10 receivers in the NFL in Golden Tate. What is that saying to the team? What is that saying to a great fan base? And the Lions have a great fan base.
They do. And this is it. You hire Bob Quinn, and Bob Quinn hires Matt Patricia. It's like when my wife told me, hey, you discipline the kids. I go discipline them. I come back. Why'd you do that? So, you know, you asked me to do something, then let me do it my way. And if they're going to build a team that's sustaining, this is what Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia want to do. And you got to trust that they do that.
That will tie a Vikings franchise record for most sacks in a game of 9.
This is his second sack of the day, I believe. I know he's above 1. Again, we talked about him earlier, Tom, and what a valuable number 3 he is off the bench, working on Wiggins. And they get on that edge, it's over. And Wiggins' hands were late.
Last time the Vikings had 9 sacks in a game was 93 against Chicago. And that's incomplete on second down. Third down coming up. Then we check in with Kurt Minifield.
Well, the Vikings fans saw too much of this guy last week. Drew Brees and the Saints will try and be the first team to beat Todd Gurley and the Rams. It's America's Game of the Week coming your way. And you guys have done it. It should be a fantastic one. Tom, Chris, and Jen.
All right, Kurt, thank you. I'm sure Green Bay is still smarting a bye week this week about not ending that unbeaten run to begin this season by the Rams a week ago at the Coliseum. Had that fumbled kickoff return by Ty Montgomery. And Rodgers was left on the sideline.
Ineligible player downfield, number 60. The penalty is declined. Third down.
Yeah, I was surprised that he brought that out. I get he's trying to make a play, talking about time, but I got Aaron Rodgers, so it's got to be, what, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 times he's going down there to give Crosby a shot at the winning field goal.
No doubt, and Crosby had hit from 53 yards already in that game. A kick that would have gone 73. Dumped off to Riddick. And just not much there. A gain of 3. Fourth down, and the Lions trailing 24-6 will go for it. It's a season low for Stafford passing yards in a game. 21 of 30, 155 yards. He's been sacked 9 times. The only other game he failed to reach 200 was in a win, ironically, against Green Bay. And threads a needle there. Beautifully thrown to Galladay.
That's a beautiful dart by Matthew Stafford. First of all, his footwork in the pocket to give himself a throwing lane. And Galladay's would have come around, and Ben Gideon just gets stuck a little bit. Remember dropping there, covering just tire tracks? When you drop in zone, find man.
Go down the middle of the field once more. And a catch is made by Marvin Jones Jr. Colton Hill on the coverage, and that's another first down. Johnson run out of bounds by Kendricks right at the 24. You know, you try and handicap this NFC North, Chris Spielman, and you know we've seen all these teams in the division. It's really hard to do because on any given week we have seen, you know, Detroit look really good, seen Green Bay look really good, Minnesota we've seen look good, Chicago we've seen them look really good.
Yeah,
but then each of those teams at times has looked really bad.
Yeah, I think you look at Chicago, that's a team to watch. Their offense is caught up with their defense.
Galladay running hard. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 9 sacks by this Minnesota defense today. They had 21 on the year coming into this game.
Sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Well, bonus coverage for many of you coming up next on this Fox Sunday doubleheader. Atlanta leading Washington. That's a bit of a surprise. 28-14, but nearly an entire quarter to go. I'm going to correct something I said a moment ago. Talked about Green Bay. I said they were in a bye week. They were coming off a bye week before that loss to the Rams last week. And of course, highly touted game later tonight against Tom Brady and the Patriots. Corner of the end zone, incomplete. Second down. 24-6. Minnesota in front.
How about that matchup, Joe? This is a football fan TV. You got Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. I mean, arguably two of the best to ever play the game. I know I'd put them up there. It's just a great quarterback matchup. Great competitors, too, by the way. Great competitors.
Lions had a couple of chances inside the 15-yard line. Had to come away with field goals in the first half. They've been shut out here in the second half. And that is a Minnesota franchise record 10th sack of this game. 3.5 sacks today by the NFL's leader, Danielle Hunter.
Again, I mean, this is working on Rick Wagner. Theo Riddick misses. Stafford's forced to pull it down because of the pressure of Tom Johnson and Danielle Hunter, who's having a career. I mean, not have a day, have a career. 3.5 sacks.
Yeah, 11 tackles in the game. He's returned a fumble for a touchdown. Timeout on the field. Yep, been that kind of day. Oh, look at that young man.
It's all right. He'll get better. Be patient.
That's a big word, patience.
Yes, it is.
Tried to set up a screen to Theo Riddick. Out comes the field goal unit. Our game produced by Mark Titleman, directed by Greg Stopatoni. Our associate director is Alex Olson. And our broadcast associate Kyle Wu. Our technical producer Michael Nathanson. And our technical director Dane Crawford. Our audio guru from the Buckeye State, Columbus, Ohio, Zach Bayer. Thank Tom Barbary and Scott Snyder up here in the booth. What a day for the Minnesota defense. 21 sacks all year long, and a little bit misleading because they haven't had Everson Griffin.
Yeah. Well, I just think their defense looks different. I mean, the way they started, and Mike Zimmer talked about it, they kind of got back to basics. Challenged his guys to start making plays and play simple, eliminate thought. When you eliminate thought, you play faster.
Raiders hit from 35, 35, now 37, 3 out of 3. And we're right back after this message. You know, we're giving out credits today. The highlight of the day was meeting your mom for the first time today.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's the first time she ever had a chance to actually come in the booth and see what we do and all the work and preparation that goes into it. She's a diehard football fan.
Oh, she was married your dad, a coach for a long, long time.
Yep, she was the rock, man. Got a lot of my perseverance from that wonderful woman. Feeling?
I can guarantee you after the game, knowing this young man from Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, they're going to say, well, you know, the 100-yard streak, 8 in a row, comes to an end. What do you think? He'll say, I don't care. We won a game.
Absolutely.
You can book it.
They're going on their bye week, so they have a chance to get healthy. Rhodes can heal up. Diggs, and here comes an onside kick. I actually love the call.
Perfect. Oh, that is a great kick. And it seems like Rudolph is always a guy getting his hands on the football.
Well, they have him out there for a reason because they trust him. Plus, he's 6'6", so he can go get the high ball and high point it. But I love the aggressiveness of Matt Patricia to never quit. Send your team a message. We're going to kick a field goal. We're going to onside kick it. We're going to recover it. We're going to try to go score. Good job by Martin. That's exactly what you want. Zylstra out there doing a good job of blocking his man so they can't get to it.
1:09 to go, and the Vikings will head into their bye week at 5-3-1. They're among the last teams in the NFL to get a bye week. And when they come back, I mean, it's right back into the division again. How about that game in 2 weeks? Go to Soldier Field and host Green Bay here. Those two teams tied earlier this season. That's the first of 2 meetings, by the way, against the Bears. Then you go to New England and to the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
For the Lions on the road in Chicago, you have 3 in a row, all against playoff teams. Would be right now anyway. Carolina, Chicago, and the Rams, and then out to the desert in Phoenix, Arizona.
They have to respond next week. They'll have more time to figure out the Golden Tate issue, who's going to replace, how they're going to adjust.
Let's check in with Carissa Thompson once more.
Thanks, Tom. So the Bucks trailing 35-21 early in the fourth. Ryan Fitzpatrick connects with Adam Humphries for this 30-yard touchdown. His second of the day. Bucks down by 7. We will get you out to this game at the conclusion of yours. Tom?
Of course, they had the late comeback last week to tie it up with Fitzpatrick against Cincinnati, only to lose at the last buzzer on the field goal. And you see that's a 7-point game now, and that'll be our bonus coverage coming up next. I'd like to send out a happy birthday or happy anniversary to my wife, Polly.
Yeah, great one.
Our game on in Cincinnati today, the best. I love you very much, honey. 18 incredible years.
I could say this, Paulie overmarried.
You mean she under?
No. I get to spend every weekend with you.
I appreciate it. I tell you, I'm not sure she said anything that nice to me in a long time. You're together 18 years, you rarely get that anymore. All right, anyway, if you're the Vikings and you know it's a bye week, and you said it, I mean, as far as just the stars are concerned, the Vikings might have more stars that have been injured than any other team in the league.
Yeah, and their backups have done a good job. We saw Xavier Rhodes go down. Holden Hill played well against the Saints. Stephon Diggs out today. You got contribution from Treadwell. Also, you had Chad Beebe make some catches early on third downs. And a healthy Dalvin Cook. You get Everson Griffin back. It's all about peaking at the right times in the NFL.
And over in punt. And we'll be down inside the 5. That's perfectly done by Matt Wyatt. Stay tuned for the State Farm Game Break Show coming right up at the conclusion of this one. Compared to most NFL games, this game has flown by. Well, the big story today, Mike Zimmer's defense, and he's all about defense. Because their offense really hadn't done a whole lot. The Lions defense has done a pretty good job here today.
And that's interesting that you bring that up, because I certainly have been involved with games, and we've been where our offense had to carry us. So yeah, we couldn't stop anybody, and there's other games where we couldn't get anything going, and the defense won the ball game. And you know, this is the type of defense that guy right there, who's committed, by the way, with the full face paint, is used to doing. Seeing. And they've made great improvements since the beginning of the year, because at the beginning of the year, I didn't even recognize what this defense was. Big play after big play was everywhere, right? Chunk plays. And Matt Patricia, I know he's the right guy for the job for the Detroit Lions. I really do believe that. They're building something, and you have to break eggs to, to make whatever the omelet thing. So they're breaking some eggs, but they're building something. And you got to just trust it. You got to trust what he and Bob Quinn are doing. That's what you hired him to do.
Well, I'll tell you, I know a great line when I steal one. You got to break eggs to make an omelet thing.
you can use that for the Reds this year.
24-9. Mike Zimmer's team will do some self-evaluating, as he told us. So did John DeFilippo. And the guys are standing by for the State Farm Game Break. Let's go to Los Angeles. Kurt Menefee and the gang standing by. Vikings go to 5-3-1, sacking Matthew Stafford 10 times in the victory.